Hello viewers, and welcome to another edition of Spartan Showcase. I'm your host, Andy Quiros, and today I'm joined by Student Council President Tim McCrohan.
Hello, Andy.
First off, Tim, can you give the viewers at home a short summary of what Student Council is all about?
All right, yeah. So for me, Student Council is about three things: the school, the community, and the student, him or herself. Our organization provides the opportunity for students to enrich the community, the school, and themselves as a leader. My favorite part about Student Council is definitely how much a student can grow and develop skills for the future.
And as you just touched on, what does Student Council have to offer students?
Student Council really allows the student to network and get to know other people from all over the Commonwealth. Later in life, students use these relationships to establish internships, get to know, get involved in new companies, and just really establish themselves as a person.
And what is your favorite Student Council memory?
My favorite Student Council memory is definitely last year's Hyannis Conference. So in the spring, we have our state conference where the entire state comes down to the Cape, and we enrich ourselves as leaders and submit our excellence awards, and we get evaluated on how our council has performed for the year.
And what made you decide to join Student Council as a freshman?
Oh, I actually have a really nice story. So my cousin Katie was president at the time, and I didn't want to go, and she picked me. She pulled into my driveway and told me, you gotta come, you gotta come, you gotta come. And finally I subdued and just went, and I immediately fell in love, and it's just my home.
And for those students who have not been involved in Student Council, how can they get to be a member and get to be part of this community?
A big thing is just showing up for the meetings. When you're there, you feel like you're welcomed and that it's your new home. And so I guess a big thing is when you do go to the meetings to make sure you put your name on interest sheets and just get involved and go to the events, start accumulating hours.
And so the students who do that and have shown a dedication to Uxbridge's Council, what are ways they can expand their love for Student Council?
So like I mentioned earlier, we have our state conference, and then in addition to that, we have our regional conference. So students who exemplify at a local level, we encourage to go on and get involved in the region and the state. So some students get a little overwhelmed at first with the state, so we have our fall conference, which is actually coming up on November 9th. And they go, and you get to see everyone. We're the Central District, so CDMASC, and we're meeting in Tantascwa. Yeah.
And then what are some events hosted by Uxbridge Student Council throughout the year?
Well, I actually have a list right here because we have so many that I couldn't just pick, right off the top of my head. Coming up, we actually have the blood drive on November 15th. We just finished our trick-or-treating for canned goods where we donate, where our members go around and they knock on their neighbors' doors and ask for donations for the food pantry. Our Unified Olympics is a new event, but it's huge. It's all about inclusion and getting everyone from the school involved and feeling welcomed. And then lastly, one of my favorite events is the Pep Rally and Activities Day. Activities Day is just a new spin we have for the Pep Rally. So the first half of the day, students will go to a teacher's room, and the teacher picks a hobby, an interest that they have, and they're sharing it with a group of 25 students. And then after that, we go to the Pep Rally.
And you mentioned the blood drive. That's coming up in just 2 weeks. What does the council do to prepare for that event?
Well, planning actually started in June. We went through and we picked a date. And then recently in the past, we, as an executive board, we would plan the blood drive. But this year we thought if we gave it to chairs, we would get more students involved and it would just run more smoothly. So right now, our chairs, Leah and Scott, are working on coordinating a schedule, a donation schedule, and just making sure that the day goes smoothly.
And how do you pick chairs?
Chairs, so at the meeting, we have our interest sheets go around. They're called chair sheets, and students will write their name. And if it's a co-chair, they'll write their friend's name. And then at the end of the meeting, we go into an executive board meeting and discuss who has exemplified in the council and who we think should be the chair.
And last year, the council started a new fundraiser called the Lip Sync. Can you explain to the viewers what the Lip Sync was all about?
Yes. So our vice president right now, Elizabeth, was watching TV, and she saw this show about lip syncs, and she thought it'd be a great idea to bring something to the school. We were looking for new events, and it dawned on her. So we actually, at the time, were collecting donations for a staff member, and so we decided to tie them both together. And I think the students of UHS really loved the event. They're asking about it all the time. So we plan on doing it again this year. We don't have a cause picked yet, so if anybody out there has an idea about a cause and would like to reach out to us, feel free to email anyone.
And when do you think the lip sync this year will take place, or any changes from last year?
We hope to get participation up, maybe a few new acts and something like that. And we also hope to get more members from the community in, not just from UHS. Like, we had a great turnout from students, but we also hope to see some parents and community members.
And when do you think it's going to be held?
Probably in the springtime. We're very busy right now working on the Excellence Award and just getting ready for council goals, but we have more free time in the spring.
And you just mentioned the Excellence Award. What is that all about?
So the state officers, they're elected at our state conference in Hyannis, and they establish a goal for the entire state. And then they send out an outline, and on that outline it has indicators and points, and we meet those points, and then we accumulate points. And for the past 2 or 3 years, we've received gold, 1 silver, and so yeah.
And how do you go about making something like that, something that big?
So we actually delegate the work. There's 8 members of our executive board. So we have a meeting and we sit down and we go through and assign who's doing what indicator. Usually we decide, it's chosen by who has been to those events, or if it's a public relations indicator, then our PR officer will do that one.
Sounds like you have a good handle on it.
Yes.
So another focal point of Uxbridge High School's council is their work for Unified Olympics. So last year, for the first time in UHS history, there was a school-wide Unified Olympics event. Can you describe how that day worked and how it was made possible?
Okay, so planning started probably later than it should have. It started in February, but our president really worked hard. She got everything together, created a proposal along with the delegate on our board, and they met with the administration, and that really just got the ball going. So to give you an idea of what the day looked like, students got divided into 8 groups, and there were group leaders who were executive board members, and they participated in 4 different large events. So one team would play the other in an event like kickball. Last year we had kickball, tennis, large field soccer, and foursquare. I feel like I'm forgetting one. Oh, and yard games. So the students spent the day interacting with each other and really getting involved. A part of this, the reason why it's a Special Olympics event is because we include the entire school, including our special education population, because we're trying to enrich the community here and make everyone feel welcomed.
Not only did the council successfully host the Unified Olympics Day, but we also run a campaign called Spread the Word to End the Word each year. Can you describe what that's about?
Yes. So the Our Word campaign is to stop the use of the word retard. That's the first time I've said the word since my freshman year when I signed the poster. But it's very important to teach the UHS community and outside of UHS that this word is just so disrespectful to such a large population that we thought it'd be very important to teach our students that, and hopefully it will have an impact in our community.
And you think it has? It's done its job?
Oh, without a doubt. I just cringed saying the word. So.
Sure. And do you have any last thoughts or words before I let you go?
Yes. We have a few meetings coming up. Our next meeting is on November 22nd at 7 p.m. in the library. We look forward to submitting our Excellence Award and hopefully being able to share the news with everyone with what we receive.
Great. Thank you. So thanks, Tim, so much for your time, and thank you to everyone on UCTV who made this production possible. And we'll see you next time here on Spartan Showcase.